Hello, 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 hello. How are you? First off, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you to those on my Instagram who suggested topics they wanted to hear me talking about. This one was exactly what the title is: self belief, self faith, self trust. And the reason I picked this one was because it feels like this is the basis for so much of what my life is built on: trusting myself, believing in myself, and having faith in myself. And as I explored a bit in my previous streams this week, in order to figure out what self belief, self faith, self trust is, we have to know who and what the self is. For me, I have so many different experiences of myself. Most importantly for me is my source self, right? So the self that is the infinite consciousness, the self that is connected energetically to literally everything in the multiverse, which of course is a lot more than I can actually wrap my human ego brain around. And I say that not in a pejorative way. I'm very grateful to have an ego. I'm very grateful to have a human brain. I'm grateful to be here and be who I am. And I recognize that that part of myself, the ego human part of myself, cannot even fathom the greatness of my source self. I popped this mic on today, by the way. I wanted to have the sound quality a little bit better. It limits my hand movements a bit. I'm very gestury, but that's okay. That's okay. We're working with it. We're working with it. Um, so that's very important for me to articulate right off the bat, that for me, self is not a simple concept. And even within my ego human self, there are different parts of myself. For me, there's the body, right? So I'm living inside of a body, and this body communicates to me. And that is how I receive information from my source self, from my infinite self, from my all knowing, all loving, most importantly, self. I receive communication from that part of myself through my physical avatar, through my body. And that's what a lot of us call intuitions, what I call intuition. Intuition. And that is what guides me. That's my guiding compass. And then there's this third part of myself, which, as I mentioned, it's the ego, it's the human self, it's my mind, it's my thoughts, it's my sense of identity or identities, which are transitory and in flux, the thoughts that come in and out of my mind that I can choose to identify with or not if I'm being mindful, right? If I'm not being mindful, it's I just identify with the thoughts. But when I'm in a conscious space where I'm actually observing the thoughts in my mind, then I can choose whether or not to identify with them, right? But point being, my ego and my human self, my mind self is something that is transitory, right? It's coming, it's going. I used to identify as a woman. Now I identify as a non-binary man, right? These are different identities that I've experienced throughout my life. Sometimes I feel like eating strawberries. I would love a fresh strawberry right now. And sometimes I feel like eating like a thick ass burrito, right? And so this self that I'm experiencing is different and it's always changing. Okay. My source self, consistent as fuck. Consistent. Consistent. Consistently in love. Okay. Consistently in knowledge and deep intelligence and wisdom. So for me, that's who I look to. It's my source self. That is who I look to when I'm trying to find my way in life. Like human life is, it is up and down. Yesterday I was feeling tender for quite a lot of the day, and what did I do? Like, how did I support myself in that in a way that was authentic and it fostered that trust within me? I listened to my body and I just said, it's okay wherever you are. Wherever you are, I'm going to hold you there. I'm going to love you there. And for me, that type of relationship with myself fosters trust. It develops trust. Now, trust for me is different than belief. So, yes, I have a trusting relationship with myself because I honor and love this human form as though I was its parent. So it's like, I love you, Clear. Like, yeah, you're feeling tender, babe. That's okay. Let's just like go to the park. Let's go spend some time in the sunshine, you know? Sorry, by the way, if you can hear the garbage truck. The garbage truck's going by. Thank you. Thank you. Um, but belief in myself, really for me, this is belief in higher power. This is belief in source. And for me, I believe in source so much that I know, as I mentioned, that I cannot fathom the true potency, the true potential, the true power of source. And so for me, I just tap into that. I tap into that and I raise my hands and I say, use me, God. Use me, higher beings. Like I am here to serve. I am here to remember love. I am here to remember my intrinsic power as a creator. And and I believe so deeply in myself and Clear because I know that I'm connected to and a part of that higher power. So that's how I believe in myself. And it's really quite simple. I get out of my own way. I get out of the way of my ego feeling like I'm not enough, you know? And yesterday, like, I had to work with that as I was walking to go film a piece of content. Um, I was in a funk and I was literally repeating to myself under my mask, you are enough. I was repeating, I am enough. 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 And the more that I repeated that, the more I remembered it authentically in my body. So it's important where I live. Living in a body for me, it's important that that experience of living in my body be one that is authentic, where I'm not bullshitting myself um, and simply trying to convince my body to feel certain ways that it doesn't. And there is also a level of being able to shift, live into a certain experience that I want my body to have. And so, you know, as I was repeating, I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. My body was able to shift into an experience where I felt that more than I had before repeating it. So I invite you in this moment, if you haven't been already, to just say out loud with me, I am enough. 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 And feel it in your body. Feel what your body's feeling. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. And you are enough. And I am enough. So that is how I work with my self-belief. I intend to believe in myself. I can be of far greater service when I believe in myself. And it's nothing personal. It's not really about Clear, right? It's about source and me just allowing myself to be a tube, like a Mario tube, you know, doink doink, and allow source to pop down and come into my physical avatar, come into my identities, and just live through me. Allow source to live through my identities. Hey, how are ya? Uh, uh, right? And to just live through my body. So, as far as faith goes, faith. I love faith. And for me, belief and faith are different in that belief is something that I hold in my pragmatic and logical mind, and faith is something that I hold in my heart. For me, faith is more related to me believing in the power of source, of God, of infinite, right? For me, that's what faith is. It's me being like, I can't even fathom how brilliant you are, my love. I cannot even fathom how brilliant you are. So just do your thing. And I have faith that you are going to align everything perfectly in divine timing, align everything even better than I can think for it to be in this moment. And I recognize that like again, I have limitations as a human and as a human mind, and that's okay. I can be humbled. I can be humbled by that, and I can be humble in that. And for me, faith and cultivating faith is about saying, I know that you can organize this and orchestrate this even more miraculously than my mind can think up in this moment. So I have faith that it's all going to work out okay. And for me, that's just what I return back to. I'm always returning back to believing in myself as something that is created by the infinite and channeling the infinite, all powerful, all potent, all magical, period, right? And self faith, I have faith that like I always come back to this. I always come back to these principles. I always come back to this because it's my safe resting place. It's where I function from the best. It's where I have the least depression, the least anxiety. It's where I have the most joy, the most relaxation, the most calmness, the most contentness, the most self love. So that's why I come back to it. And the more I come back to it, it's like a muscle, the better I get at it, the stronger I get. So I prioritize it. And it's such a joy to get to speak on it in the mornings. I feel like it's really tuning my vibration in a nice way. So I'm glad that there's this platform where I can express in this way. And please, you know, hit me in the comments with what you liked from this. Like, what landed for you? What felt good for you to be hearing? And what do you want to hear more about within my experience and me reflecting on it? And I would also love to see your reflections on what your experiences of self belief, self trust, and self faith are in the comments. You can also hit me up on Instagram, and you can DM me if you want to do transformational coaching together. It is a deep passion of mine to get to hold people's spirits and hearts to walk through the fire in their own lives to discover their magic and their potential. So, me today, I'm feeling crystal clear. I'm feeling clear as day, and I'm out. Thank you so much. Bing, bing, bing.